Roger with the weekly Pele report for September 30th of the year 2020, and a little bit in lockdown here. So instead of nature shots in the river, I'm going to give you a little perspective of the solar system. All right. And here you can see why we have a Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto conjunction. Okay. With respect to the Earth, you can get this idea, all right? And today and this week, actually Sunday it is exact, but Pluto is stationing direct. And I want to give you an idea of what this retrograde is about. We know that Mars is retrograde, and I want to help you understand from our perspective what exactly that means. Yeah? What that means is, like, if I was to go backwards, okay, let's put the Earth back over here 3 months ago, and you drew a straight line from the Earth over to Pluto and back, and the Earth went forward to where it is now, and you drew a straight line from where the Earth is now to where Pluto is, that line would have been seen to be going backwards through the starry constellations behind Pluto. Now that they are in a line, you can see the Earth is coming around this curve, and as you know, she moves forward in her orbit, it will appear then as Pluto going direct. I hope that's clear. And here the Earth, you can see the moon is right to the left of the Earth, which gives us a full moon, right? The Earth is, right in between the sun and the moon. Here it is. Dun, 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 dun. You see, there's almost that straight line up. We had that, that full moon tomorrow, mañana. I'm going to move this forward a little bit here. Ready? And let's go forward. Here goes our Earth, moving forward. So you can see that October 1st, that we're past it. And what happens then? The moon is going to come into an alignment with Mars. You can see that we're going to have a moon-Mars conjunction. What you don't really see, and I'm very sorry about that, is that this program does not have Chiron. So actually, Chiron is outside the orbit of Mars. Okay, it's farther out here. You can't, like I say, you can't see it here. But the fact is that we're also having this full moon. Is that with Chiron right here, there's a sun opposite Chiron, and the moon comes around. So this full moon is a moon conjunct Chiron, not that far from Mars, all of them being opposite the sun. Dun, dun, dun. And I will talk a little bit more about what that means. And now I want to give you this sense of the Earth orbits the sun once a year, Mars just about twice a year. So the Earth is moving faster than Mars. We are passing Mars. So as we pass Mars, if you draw a line from the Earth through Mars out here to the distant stars, it will appear as if Mars is going backwards. Through these, that line is going to continually be moving backwards until Mars actually, is going to go back direct November 14th. Here we come to November 6th. And as of the 14th of November, I can pause it right there, November 14th. Then we're going to have a situation where if you draw this line through, you see the Earth was here, and that line of the Earth Mars would be seen to be going down the screen, right, backwards through the zodiac. But as of November 14th, The Earth is far enough away now, and Mars will be seen to be going forward. It's just an optical illusion. They're always going forward, but this is just an idea that I want to show you of how that Mars is working. What else did I want to show you? The square. The square between Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, right? Look at this. Let's see if we can get these out here again. There you can see. It's not that clear. Let's get Pluto out of there, because you kind of get that Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto are lined up together. But we need to go back. Shoot, let's see. Let's go backwards. You can see with the movement here that if you drew a line from the Mars to the Earth, and then a line from the Earth to Jupiter, or the Earth to Saturn, you'd have a square angle. You see this? And let me blow this up a little bit and just turn it. You can see that this is a right angle here from, well, better Saturn, right? But it's a 90-degree angle from Mars to the Earth, from Earth up to Saturn. You're going to get a 90-degree or square angle. So that shows up on your birth chart, or on the chart that I put at the beginning of the report, as a square. So there you have a little bit of what is going on from a solar system point of view. Bring all these other guys in here. What you don't see on here is Eris. Eris is twice as far away from us as Pluto. So, oh, there's Eris. Okay, so you can see Eris is so far out here to the left, right over by the 2020, that it is also conjunct Mars. We have a Mars-Eris conjunction also occurring this week. So let me look at the camera and talk about this a little bit and see what it all means. Okay, everybody, what are we doing here today? September 30th, I'm going to carry on a little bit from my last week's Pele report with that analogy of the trampoline. Because as I mentioned, it's like Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto went forward through December, January, February, March, and then Jupiter turned retrograde, and then Saturn turned retrograde, and they all, and it's like bouncing up on the trampoline. They went, Saturn went all the way into Aquarius, said, oh, time to come down. And now, with Pluto going direct, all three, the gang of three, okay, have hit and are, as low as they are going to go, and they are going to go direct and charge up again. And I want to just really call out, Mars is still retrograde. Let us not jump the gun. That is what is very clearly stated in the mantra for this week, and of course in the astrology of this week. Let's really take a look at, Pluto is at the very same degree, 22 degrees. It came in and it was at 22:59, August, the middle of August. 58, 57, 56, it's, and it stations now and still is at that same degree until November 18th. Okay? And that's when Jupiter joins it, and that's when Mars goes direct. So the middle of April, the middle of November, okay, is really when, Mars is direct, Jupiter passes Pluto, it starts a new Jupiter-Pluto cycle. So there's going to be, some new impulses happening in the middle of November. That is 6 weeks from now.
ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot. This can be considered a pretty long period of time. And right now, especially with this Mars retrograde square Saturn, exactly yesterday and today, Mars is square Saturn, very powerful. And what is Mars square Saturn? That is like banging your head up against a brick wall. It reminds me of Charlie Brown, okay, in the old Peanuts, where he would just bang his head against the wall. It's like hitting the wall. This can be a time in our lives where we are stopped dead. You ever sit there at a red light, and you're just waiting, and it's like this red light is taking forever. When is that sucker going to turn green? I'm telling you, we ain't got no green light till the middle of November, baby. And what is the meaning of that? What is the positive use or approach or mindset over this period of time? And this week in particular, the moon has gone into Aries, full moon in Aries, with Mars and Eris and Lilith. It's like we are ready to strike out, ready to go emotionally. And this is the important key. Emotionally, instinctively, impulsively, we just want to go, start, initiate, do, yell, scream, rebel, protest, fight, run races, compete. It's just like, this is just like, ugh. And it's like everybody needs a punching bag these days to let off steam, to let out steam. We are in like a pressure cooker. And Mars is a fiery planet, in Aries a fiery sign, and squaring the concrete wall of Jupiter, a big Saturn concrete Capricorn wall. Boom. That square is really powerful. So you may be feeling frustrated. You are not alone in feeling frustrated. You are normal. It's okay. Be frustrated. Get pissed off. Vent. The thing is, if it's very important now, Saturn tends to suppress, right? Whether it's the policeman or the government or the religion or your own sense of guilt, Saturn tends to suppress that Mars instinctive, angry, impulsive desire for something new, something more, something beyond. So we're in what I would call a holding pattern. Like the plane is, wanting to come in for a landing, and the control tower says, hang on. All landing strips are full. Chill out. This can be very difficult. Now I want to get into why. Cosmically, of course, everybody's got their own take on why. This is my take on why. It is very, the analogy may be a little too close to home for many people. But just think of a house that caught on fire and is burned, destroyed, torn down, torn away, charred, or a house that got hit by a tidal wave or a hurricane and it flooded, or just an old, beat up, deteriorated house that needs to get completely remodeled. I used to build houses. I've remodeled houses. And I remember there was one house where it was the house was okay, but the foundation was bad. And we jacked up the house, put it on, put house jacks all over the place, and dug a foundation around the outside. This was a real pain in the butt. And then poured the concrete wall and set the house back down on it, okay? Saturn Pluto, just think of the root chakra. Pluto rules the root chakra, along with Saturn and Uranus. So we've got this Pluto-Saturn conjunction. This is our root chakra. This is the foundation of our lives, of our relationships, of our society, of our economy. We are getting, and that's what the mantra this week is about, torn away, torn down, stripped away. The patriarchy is getting dismantled, brick by brick, board by board, story by story, however many, stories your house is. And that's the thing now. Just think of if your house got burned down or your house got flooded, you are without a house. I mean, it's like, oh, Jesus. I've got no foundation. I've got no place to, stand. I've got no support. I am extremely vulnerable to all the elements. And maybe it's wolves and coyotes, okay? It's like this is a very vulnerable time. Socially, personally, relationship-wise, economically, it's like we're on the teetering edge. And it's very scary to sit here. And yet, this is the best thing that we can do. And that's where the mantra goes into. We need to carefully examine the foundation. Life brought us to this point of tearing away that which once worked, but now needs to go. That house needed to go. The patriarchy needed to go. Those laws or government institutions or healthcare systems, everything is getting torn down now, and it's very hard to see the silver lining to this cloud, but it is an opportunity to start over and do it differently. Make some new laws, make some new rules. Establish new lines of communication. Set your foundation. So now while the house is charred and ashes, we have access to the foundation. And we may see cracks in that foundation. We may see weak points in our old conditioning, in our old patterning, in our old belief systems. Jupiter, our belief systems coming around to Saturn Pluto. It's time to destroy outmoded methods, ways, and beliefs that have been limiting our self-expression, our creative, individual, unique beingness. So rather than out of insecurity, out of vulnerability, out of fear, start building again on a lousy foundation, okay? Start building again, on a floodplain, okay? Or start building again, where it's going to be destroyed farther on down the road with another forest fire or another You see what I'm saying? This is time. Examine the roots. And maybe who you want to be is different than who you are or who you were. And it is time to make a change and not rebuild the same identical house that just burned down. Like, maybe it's time to build a different kind of house that's not going to burn down. I don't know, or not build on a floodplain. Or you see what I'm. This is an opportunity to rebuild the Supreme Court. Okay, to rebuild through elections the government. To rebuild personal relationships that have really reached a breaking point. Due to proximity. The karma of proximity. Whatever, it's like really time to examine what we have been doing, what has been working, what is no longer working, what we want to work differently, and what kind of a future. So this is the next thing. You see how we are in this holding pattern to meditate, to pray, okay, to contemplate, to really, and it's important to hold faith, to still believe that there is a bright future, that there is something better on the horizon, that that we're going to rebuild and we're going to replace and we are going to renew our forests and our oceans and our planet and our relationships and our societies. These are going to spring back, purified, purged, renewed, and be better reflections of who we are and how we have evolved, changed, and grown through this birth canal, through this Pluto mutation, transmutation process of 2020. So it may be tempting, like I say, with this full moon, the full moon goes into Eris, then after Taurus, she's going to come in and she's going to hit Uranus, okay, and this is just like really a time. It's nice that Venus is going into Virgo, okay? Venus is I like. Virgo is to analyze and look at every little detail, every little crack, every little mistake, every little, Virgos make great engineers. So this is a very good time. Venus moving into Virgo, okay? And, moon coming through here into Taurus. There's going to be a nice little trine going on there for a little while. Venus moves into a trine, with Uranus. It's going to be great. Mercury up there in Scorpio, okay, coming into this opposition with Uranus. I'll talk more about that next week. But also, Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio is, I'm going to see with my X-ray vision down into every little nook and cranny and what's under the carpet and what's in the corner and, so, it's the underworld really looking at the foundations, the roots of where we are. So it's time to rock steady. I forgot to think of a song for this week. I think it's going to be Rock Steady. That sounds great. I forget exactly who did it, or I'll try to dig it up on YouTube. But, rock steady. Rock steady this week, okay? Just don't lose it. As depressing or as, just downright miserable it may be or appear, you want to just understand that it's holding us in this place so that we can really see what we don't want in our future. Right? So it's like, okay, boy, if I never want this to happen again, I'm going to have to do this and this, and then I'm going to have to build, I'm going to build into my life, into my relationships, these pressure release valves, or whatever, so that, I'm not going to hit this wall again. It's almost like the Three Little Pigs. Right? He builds his house out of straw, it gets blown down. He builds it out of twigs, gets it blown down. Finally he says, doggone it, man. I've lost enough. Right? We're in a time period now where, each and every single one of us just may have lost enough. And we are tired of losing and we don't want to lose anymore. So let's build structures in our personal lives, in our family lives, in our social lives, in our educational health system, whatever, planetary wise. Let us build structures that are going to withstand greater challenges down the road and not crumble again. Yeah. It's a fool who doesn't learn from his mistakes. So, socially, economically, religiously, whatever, we've all made mistakes, and we want to use those mistakes to grow and build more awesome lives than before. Not just kind of sit there and go, oh gosh, I lost, I give up, I'll never bother doing it again because I'm a loser. I mean, don't go there, man. Just don't go there. You just gotta, keep it up, baby. All right, so the mantra for this week, ready? I'm in the process of stripping away what once worked but now needs to go. I need to be patient and carefully examine my foundation before I build more. Yeah, exactly. I hope this rings true for you, and you can be patient and carefully examine without getting so frustrated that you overreact or impulsively start or commit or charge into something prematurely that is just going to fail by the middle of November. Oh my God. Crazy planet, man. One last time. I'm in the process of stripping away what once worked but now needs to go. I need to be patient and carefully examine my foundation before I build more. May you build on a solid foundation. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.